you want to hit the magic
Call
button? There we go. Welcome, everyone. This is Kaleen O'Connor. And if you've been listening in at the beginning of this webinar, we were having some bloopers and having some fun. So come early, and you never know what you're going to get to tune into. We have lots of fun where we are. So again, I'm Kaleen. I'm joining you from Florida, USA, on the Gulf Coast. We're in the middle of hurricane season, luckily with no hurricanes at the moment. Thank goodness. And we're here to share a beautiful gift for humanity that is literally changing lives, including mine and my own families all over the world. I am living a life that I never thought was possible, thankfully, because of this massive health breakthrough. So we always encourage you to go back to the person that invited you at the end of this webinar and thank them. Let them know you were here and let them know what you loved about it, because it is truly a gift to know about this for yourself and for your family. And there, along those lines, there's several reasons why people get curious, excuse me, about this health breakthrough. You yourself might have a health challenge, or you might be caring for a loved one who has a health challenge, or we're all aging and it's nice to look younger, look more beautiful, feel younger, feel stronger, anything in that realm from the aging aspect, which is, something to avoid, right? And also, if you live an active lifestyle, I mean, even to the level of you're a professional athlete or very athletic or very high energy in the work that you do, it's, wouldn't it be great to have better endurance and recovery? And so this could be a resource for you from that viewpoint. And if you're anything like me, I love the prevention. I love the idea that there are doctor visits I might never need to know about because I won't need to go, because I'm so on top of keeping my body in the best shape that it can be. And this is a phenomenal tool for that. So whatever reason or reasons you're here, tune in, take some notes if you like. We do invite you to be as interactive as you can. Obviously, we can't see your beautiful faces or hear you because we're in webinar mode, but you can put your questions in the chat box and we will answer them. Absolutely. So feel free to do that. And I'm your host for the night. And we've got a couple of phenomenal speakers. And you'll see me kind of weaving in and out just for fun and wrapping things up at the end. And then we have another surprise at the top of the hour for those that, continue to stay. Some of you already know about it. We're going to leave you on the edge for a few more minutes. So our first speaker is Mr. Stevie Aquilina, and he is a phenomenal, truly a global entrepreneur who is helping people all over the world with his health breakthrough and changing his own life as well. And so you'll have a moment to hear a bit of his personal story, and then we'll go into a phenomenal presentation. And then we're going to bring in another speaker who will share his own personal testimony. And then we'll bring Stevie back in, because the other reason that people do look at this as well, I neglected to mention, is that because it is such a unique breakthrough for humanity, it requires some education. And so the company chose a very special business model that creates an income opportunity for this as well. If you like helping people, I encourage you to listen about that too at the end. So with no further ado, let's officially bring in Mr. Stevie Aquilina and hear a bit of his story and why this is changing lives all over the world. Stevie, are you with us?
I am. Thanks, Kaleen. Yeah.
Drum roll.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kaleen. I really appreciate you because you're a tremendous lady and leader that's extended a business around the world, and so you're helping so many people. But you embrace everybody, whether they're in your global team or not, because you're very sincere about this company's mission, which is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. And so I really, really appreciate you, and happy to be associated with you as a business partner and as a friend. And I just thank you for looking after me so often. G'day everyone from the Gold Coast in Australia. My family and I are originally from Sydney, but now we live up here, and that was a dream come true, and we can make that happen. Look, I didn't have or give myself the best head start in life. I in regards to my health, I had very severe autoimmune issues, inflammatory issues. My skin would be red, raw, break apart. had to have my extremities covered in bandages just to cover it when I went to school. When I was 9 years old, I was diagnosed with the lung strength of an 80-year-old. I had gut issues most of my life. And I had lots of issues with my learning and with my focus, with my attention, and just a cloudiness over my mind. So I wasn't really an easy child to raise or school. It was kind of a difficult upbringing. Probably the worst thing that happened to me, though, is that along the way, I was told by people who were very prominent in my upbringing, that I was stupid and useless. I was kind of told that on a daily basis. You're told something often enough, especially while you're young and impressionable enough, and you're going to start to believe it. And so with all of that, I later became a high school dropout, and a teenage runaway. Not in that order, teenage runaway, then a high school dropout. I didn't last too long after school when I was sort of making my own bad decisions. And yeah, I was hanging out with, the bad people in the bad places, doing the bad things, just a lot of bad decisions, just being right off center. Wasn't a very good head start. Now, I met this woman who today is my wife, but from the moment I saw her, I knew she was the girl of my dreams. And she kind of saved my life. She believed in me long before I could ever dare to do something like that in myself. Told me that I was more long before I was ever believing enough to say that to myself. And she kind of motivated me to stand up straight, fly right. When you're told something often enough, you kind of start to believe it. And she's constantly a positive reinforcement in my life. So made her my wife. We had children. Standing up and flying right really wasn't easy for me, though, because of the disadvantaged head start that I gave myself. And so when I was working, I was just working to survive. I was constantly playing tug of war, trying to make ends meet. I felt like I was constantly treading water. With no land, no rescue inside, and any change of the current or a wave big enough, and it didn't have to be that big, would have pulled me under. Working for people, I just got used and abused and manipulated, and I felt like I was burnt out. I felt like I was missing out on precious family time, and I was tired of being told what I could and couldn't do. I was tired of not having access to some basic personal freedoms. I was fed up with being controlled by others and oppressed. And I was also fed up with my broke bank account, mainly because it forced me to break a lot of promises to my wife and kids. And that really broke my heart. And so one day I just said, enough. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to live like this anymore. I've had it. And 11 years ago, I was introduced into this industry. I was offered opportunity to get out of my own way and to participate in my own rescue. And I've been able to work with some really, really, really good-hearted people who wanted more life, who wanted more health, who wanted more money, who wanted more time in their day, who wanted to make more of a difference in the world, who wanted to have a lifestyle that each and every one of us deserves. And 6.5 years ago, most significantly, I was introduced to this company with its life-changing breakthrough, life-changing financial opportunity that runs in the background of that, and life-changing training. The company leaders here are extremely successful people. They believed in me too, a great gift that my wife gave me, and now these leaders of this company have. But more importantly, they've taught me how to believe and become more. And so now today, instead of having all of these health problems that I started off with, in my body and in my mind, I'm now living a full, rich, healthy, free life, because this life-changing breakthrough has really healed me in very, very significant ways, healed me and enhanced me in very significant ways. The Stevie 6.5 years ago that sits before you now could never talk to you like this. It's shown me a much, much, much better lifestyle. I'm now able to live a really good lifestyle with my family that's taken us to many parts of the world that once upon a time, way too far out of my reach, to be honest. But now we've been able to have some exceptional experiences. And this life-changing training, I'm just so passionate about passing this breakthrough and this opportunity and this ethos, this company culture on to other people. I really want to spend the rest of my life doing nothing less than bettering people, at least any one of these life-changing ways too. So let me jump straight into this. What I'm going to share with you is the breakthrough first. I'm going to share with you the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical experts say this is a breakthrough that is greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. They were healthcare history changing breakthroughs, but what you're going to see today goes far deeper than anything you've ever seen before. Now, for 2 decades, science had declared this was impossible. Now, this is a breakthrough today known to have enormous potential, which is proven by renowned university and medical studies, not made up studies, real stuff. A very advanced breakthrough considered to be 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results, and drug companies wanted this all shut down. But I'll tell you more about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be absolutely clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. What we'll be talking about goes well beyond drugs, nutrition, ingredients, technologies, or anything that you've seen out there before, because what I'm about to show you is none of those things. It's an entirely new frontier in science, and it's truly groundbreaking. It's category creating. It is a real breakthrough for healthcare and for humanity. So the ASEA Redox cell signaling technology is a drink that contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they're in you right now. Your body's making them right now. They are native to your body, and they are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication so that you can have correct cell-to-cell operation so that your body can function correctly. And I mean everything, all the way down to your genetic expressions. Redox signaling is involved in that in a very positive way. Now these redox signaling molecules, and redox signaling is actually a remarkable process. It really is, because it is the process that empowers your body to do everything, including heal itself. Now, this happens by redox signaling molecules detecting which of your cells are healthy and signaling and telling those cells to protect themselves. Redox signaling molecules detect which of your cells are unhealthy, and they tell unhealthy cells how to repair themselves back to good health. However, if a cell is too far gone to be repaired, it's too damaged to be repaired, the redox signaling molecules will tell that cell to die and then tell a healthy cell to copy itself to replace that lost cell. That is how your body regenerates its own tissue, heals itself. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infections. Now, redox signaling, bottom line is this: it keeps cells functioning at optimal levels. That keeps your body functioning at optimal levels. We live and die at the cellular level. So it makes sense to start there. Healthy cells, healthy body, healthy life. Now, redox signaling molecules are the keys to life. They are essential for the activation and function of all of our normal physiology. I mean it. All of our body's major systems, biochemical and physiological processes, all critically depend on redox signaling. Because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more mere seconds. Without your redox signaling molecules, life ends. They're that important. Now, our bodies already make redox signaling molecules. So, Stevie, why are you showing us a way to put more redox signaling molecules in our body? We've already got them. Good question. Well, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, how they can run around all day and not wake up sore the next day. You ever notice that? How they bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, this all starts to not just slow down, but break down. Along with stress, poor diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down. And our body's ability to make redox signaling molecules begins to break down. And without as many redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals and instructions, our whole systems of our body and our healing processes, all of that we've just discussed very quickly becomes slow and also breaks down, ultimately leading to a breakdown in our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. Now, ASEA takes science seriously and is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories. And ASEA allows all of these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of the ASEA Redox signaling breakthrough, to demonstrate the safety and efficacy of the ASEA Redox technologies and to certify them as safe and effective in every body. Now, ASEA is around a very real and very significant space of science, because Redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. The first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the very first discovery of a redox signaling molecule. However, there have now since been multiple signaling molecules discovered, with multiple Nobel Prizes being awarded for research in this field. If you don't want to just listen to me, fair enough. Go to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published in the National Library of Medicine. Type in redox signaling there, and you would see well over 33,000 results. There are more than 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling. This slide's already way out of date because there are around 150 studies coming out almost every single month. Very difficult to keep up with. According to medical researchers, as well as reported by mainstream media, like the Huffington Post, who in this article specifically wrote about ASEA here, but redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. And there are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. Medical students are learning about redox to become doctors. They're getting degrees in redox. There are now global medical conferences being held about redox. As I said, medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. Now, as for ASEA, while everyone's trying to figure it out, we're already light years ahead and lapping them in this redox space, which no one else has but us. We started it, we own it. ASEA Redox users right now enjoy cell signaling benefits, which they have for the past decade with us, which translates to health at its most foundational level. Here's just one more example. ASEA Redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect your genes that improve immune system health, that help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, that help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, that improve digestive health, digestive enzyme production and gut health, and that modulates hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. These genes are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. Moreover, ASEA Redox also has been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Now, the head professor of that university study is a very prominent professor. He has said that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now, that's something that you want to do. It's very significant to do that because all degenerative health concerns are caused by oxidative stress. Now, from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe. There is 0% toxicity. How could that be? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body, right? They're already in you. Your body already makes them. Your body actually runs off them. It's just that now your body would actually be hurt by not having them rather than having them, right? It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to be able to when it was younger and healthier. And that's leading to a breakdown. So if you have health challenges, if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish that you could look, live, and feel young once again, if you have the very good sense to protect your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, right? If you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, whether that be athletically or just in everyday living, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. So again, you don't need to take my word for it. Here are some medical doctors. Listen to what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants. And the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
Okay, so that's cellular health from the inside out. Let me show you what's possible from the outside in. That's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology, Renew 28 Redox Gel, and the Intensive Redox Serum. And these Redox technologies are further supported and enhanced even by their complementary all-natural ingredients products, the Gentle Refining Cleanser and the Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's just show you some pictures to show you what the ASEA Redox technologies are worth. So you can see some amazing health, anti-aging, and even age-reversing results. Lines, wrinkles, smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Blemishes, spots, dots, marks, inflammations, irritations, aggravations. I had this in a much more severe way on most of my body once upon a time before I was introduced to this amazing breakthrough. Other signs of poor health: to the skin being renewed. For young people too, being rejuvenated, improving the quality of life, even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions coming back to the proper surface of the skin. This is Rosie. Moral of the story is take pictures. Look at the dramatic differences on the first two left there. Rosie didn't take those pictures. So she didn't see the difference, and in fact led her to believe that the products weren't even working. Right? Rosie went to see a doctor. That's who told her about ASEA, and also who took these pictures. Rosie said to the doctor, products don't work. Doctor showed the pictures. Okay, products work. Everybody says they want to see how ASEA goes, but as I just pointed out, Rosie missed those moment by moment changes, and you're probably going to miss them too if you don't take pictures, because that's how you see how this goes. For anything you can't take a picture of, keep a written record instead. Rosie noticed results in 7 weeks. Others can notice results within 7 days. Most people can have a physical feeling experience in around about 7 minutes, give or take, but some people need to apply more product, more time, more patience over several months, especially when there's more going on with their health. Now, we know scientifically that redox signaling molecules are all the same. In you, me, animals, and even plants, redox signaling molecules are redox signaling molecules. Same. Studies show that ASEA redox products contain nothing other than redox signaling molecules, the same that exist in you and all life. Studies also show that ASEA redox products have an immediate positive effect. They work in every single person, every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you, right? Or even hurt you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Speaking of noticing the change, do you notice the change here? This doctor did a little experiment of his own on his very own face, used Renew 28 on only half of his face, not the other, and was brave enough to walk around like a weirdo for all of us just to prove how effective Renew 28 is where you use it versus where you don't. Amazing, right? It's not just for the face. You can use it on arms, hands, bellies. You can use it all over your body. These pictures are actually from a study from a world-leading laboratory, medical laboratory. Study was done because there were many reports coming in from all over the world from people saying their cellulite had disappeared while using Renew 28. So scientists set upon very strict studies to see if there was any truth to these stories. What they found was just after 12 weeks, there was a 16% or more reduction in the appearance of cellulite. The scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover how this was happening. They saw the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of wrinkles, enhancing skin texture, smoothing the skin, supporting skin cell renewal for not just visibly younger looking skin, but for healthier skin. Healthy skin is the new beautiful, but also gets rid of cellulite. Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after things such as shaving, sun exposure, and the like. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It helps soothe discomfort around the body. You can know about that in about 10 minutes. If you've got anything hurting you, rate that hurting on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 would be the maximum discomfort you could feel. Apply Renew 28 on that sore spot 3 times inside of 5 minutes. And usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people who do this will notice a reduction of their discomfort within approximately 10 minutes. Nothing I've said here has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through. And of course, ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. Kaleen, I'll hand it back to you. I want to hear a very significant redox experience from this very significant gentleman.
Fantastic. Thank you, Stevie. So there are literally thousands of people who are being helped by these products all over the world. We have the privilege tonight to hear from Mr. Dan Doyle here, who is currently in Mexico, originally from Australia, and likes to hang out in Hawaii as well. And he'll tell you why in just a moment. But, you know, it's a privilege to have him with us because it has been so life-changing for him that he has just taken on an enormous leadership role in our company, being one of our top producers and field educators. And so you get to hear from one of the best in a very personal way. Dan, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Kaleen. Thanks everybody for coming on the call, for staying on the call. It's a pleasure to be here. We are on holidays at the moment, but as I always say, it doesn't stop us from what we need to do, what we have to do, and that's to continually reach out to you guys and educate people on this incredible breakthrough and opportunity behind it. So Stevie's done an incredible job as usual of going through and talking about ASEA, the products, and also the breakthrough, the technology. And I'm just going to put a personal touch just with my story and my journey and why I'm here, why I'm still here, as a matter of fact. And just to reiterate what Stevie said, that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. As far as I'm concerned, guys, whoever's invited you onto this call has handed you a pretty substantial gift. And whether you want to open that gift or not is totally up to you. We're not here to sell you this or convince you to do anything here. We're simply here to share information, knowledge, and our stories. So growing up in Sydney, Australia, I was a kid that played many, many sports, rugby, judo, gymnastics, aerobics, surfing. And I end up doing bodybuilding. This is a picture of me 30 years ago at the age of 24. Not only at the peak of my bodybuilding career, starting weights at the age of 13, but also at the beginning of my traditional business career. I became a young entrepreneur in my early 20s, and this was in the health and fitness industry at the time. And I didn't know it at the time, but I was to go on and build 20 traditional businesses over 20 years. I became very good at building and selling traditional businesses, and traditional businesses from a lot of different industries: the health and fitness industry, obviously, hospitality industry, security industry, construction industry. And over 2 decades, I employed about 3,500 people. Now, let's fast forward from the age 24 to 44. Not a bodybuilder anymore, but still used to keep very fit and healthy. I used to go to the gym every single morning at 6:30, as I do these days. And just wanted to be the best version of a 50-year-old that I could be. I was 44 leading up to 50, and I just kept in great shape. And now I'm nearly 54 leading up to 60. I want to be the best version of a 60-year-old that I can be. So thank goodness I was in this shape, because 6 months later, in 2011, the doctors gave me some really bad news. And as you can see, I've got no hair from the top of my head to my toes. I spent 2.5 years in and out of a hospital in Sydney, Australia. What I went through, I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. It was an horrendous time, absolutely horrendous. There were times that I didn't want to be here anymore. The only thing that got me through was, how could the poor children handle what I was going through, and the elderly? So that sort of kept me going. And a good young friend of mine here, Johnny Manor, he played the highest levels of rugby in Australia, and he'd been through all the hospital visits that I'd started here, and he came through with flying colours. He was in remission at this stage. He had what the doctors would have considered to be the good one. I had 2 of the bad ones. Unfortunately, after this photo was taken and Johnny was playing rugby again, the highest levels of rugby that he could, and doing very well, his issue came back. He went back into hospital. He lost a lot of weight. He lost all his hair again. And unfortunately for Johnny, he never came out. We lost him at the age of 23. Here I'm thinking to myself, well, if he didn't have a chance, he had the good one. He was less than half my age, twice as fit. What chance do I have? So the end of 2.5 years of hospital visits, I asked my doctors that, and I hit them between the eyes. As a result, they hit me between the eyes and told me to get my affairs in order. That was a pretty hard pill to swallow, but I knew at that point I had to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. I did some research. My research led to an alkaline diet. So I really cleaned up my diet, spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water. And I was on my own little journey away from traditional conventional and into something that I didn't believe in, to be honest with you, which was alternative, functional, natural. But I knew I had to do something. And I can tell you, unfortunately, that didn't work for me as well. This is a photo of me 2 years looking after myself. So this is now 2014. A friend of mine, Bart Cotter, reached out to me. He said, I think I found something that can help. Long story short, I got on a plane in Sydney and I flew to Salt Lake City, Utah, and started drinking these Redox molecules. And in a very short period of time, as a matter of fact, 3 hours, my body was expelling things from it so fast. I had little red spots all over my upper torso. In 12 hours, a 20-year stomach problem had gone away, caffeine intolerance. Any more than 2 coffees, buckled over all day with discomfort and bloating. And in 2 to 3 days, I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital, where I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. My lungs were functioning perfect in 2 to 3 days on the product. So I went back to Australia and I kept drinking this stuff in this little blue bottle. And let's fast forward 1 year. So end of 2015, this is the day that I had my doctor's appointment, where they told me no sign of those 2 major challenges. But not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports, which were turning into that crippling issue as I was getting older, had gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose. My whole body was rebuilt top to bottom in 2015, just 1 year taking this product. That was a little bit about my journey back to health. Let's fast forward another 2 years. You can see this is 3 years on the product. Been on the product for 6.5 years now. But I always like to go back to 2014, 1 week before I flew to Salt Lake City and started on this product, where I didn't have my health. And as you can see on the outside is definitely a reflection of what's happening on the inside. Because if your skin cells aren't well, if you're not looking well, things aren't going too well for you on the inside. And that was the case at that time. And if you fast forward a year, this is 1 year taking the product, and same thing, looking better, feeling better. What you're seeing on the outside, a reflection of what was happening on the inside. And 3 years on the product, looking way better again, clear skin, my complexion, a reflection of what was happening on the inside at that time. So that was my journey back to health, back to looking younger and feeling younger. And it was an incredible journey, not only with my health, but things evolved along the way. And I was a little bit selfish initially because it was all about me and all about survival, but I made a decision because it became a responsibility to start helping other people. And thank goodness ASEA had a business model behind the breakthrough where they gave me the ability to help others receive thank you checks and invest those thank you checks into more product, in turn to saturate my body with more molecules to get it to more damage to signal my body to where the problem was. So I believe that we definitely have the biggest breakthrough in health, anti-aging, human performance, but the most compelling opportunity that we will see, I would say in our lifetime, but definitely in the world right now. With that, I'm going to hand back to Kaleen, and we're going to hear a little bit about the opportunity behind this incredible breakthrough.
Thank you, Danny. As always, it's incredible to hear your story. And, just as a point of reference too, if you're here tonight to learn just about the product, we're really glad you joined us, and you can get back to the person that invited you and learn about our phenomenal customer accounts. And, but we invite you to stay for the rest of the webinar because it is quite compelling to hear how we help others. And I will also have some good visuals at the end to orient you to the ways that you can order the product. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Stevie, and it's good to see you again.
Is it? Thanks, Kaleen. Thanks for putting up with me, folks. Hey, look, Dan is not selfish by any stretch of the imagination. Don't listen to him. He's not selfish. He's lying about that. He has reached a very significant position in this company, but it is because he has, but every single day, with very little sleep, he puts himself, by choice, he puts himself forward because he has a passion for bettering people's lives in very significant ways. And he does that. He's one of maybe the most generous gentleman I have ever met. So I really appreciate my best mate, that Aussie who's just living in Hawaii and holidaying in Mexico, but he'll be back. All right, folks, thanks for having me back. Really appreciate you too, Kaleen. Thank you. Hey, folks, with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough. That's created a life-changing financial opportunity for you to be able to make a living while bettering people's lives. The ASEA Redox technologies are not just the first, but they are the only redox signaling technologies in the world for two very simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than the medical scientists who've worked with ASEA have been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. In fact, for the 2 decades before ASEA's breakthrough work, science had declared this was all impossible. And 2, ASEA is heavily patented. Now, that doesn't just mean that ASEA is not allowed to be copied, that's for sure, but ASEA can't be copied anyway, because there are trade secrets in the making of ASEA. So there's really no way to figure out how to reverse engineer it from the bottle. And so that means ASEA can't be copied, not allowed to be copied, can't figure out how to copy it anyway. That means we have no copycats. That means we have no competition. That means no one in the world has what ASEA has, no one. No other products in the world can do what ASEA does, none of them, because none of them are redox signaling molecules, and ASEA is. Nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what redox can, and ASEA is redox. Now, because redox works in everybody, because everybody runs on redox, because everybody needs redox, because nothing in the body works as well or at all, in fact, without redox. Nothing works without it. And because redox can't hurt anybody, and because no other products can make these claims, no juice, pills, super shake, fancy water, seaweed oil, whatever it is, however good it is, it's not redox, can't work without redox. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities over and above all of this because it is redox across all health science sectors: healthcare, wellness, sports science, athletic performance, beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. This is one breakthrough that is changing a $3 trillion industry and creating an entrepreneur's dream. The ASEA mission is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We can't do that on our own, and so we look for people to help spread the word. What do? How does this work? We personally share ASEA Redox with others. We grow and expand a global network of others doing the same. And together we work to improve the productivity of the network we've built locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. And so you can be paid a share commissions from this global turnover. ASEA gives you the opportunity to make money just by sharing Redox with others. So if you're looking for an extra income, part-time income, full-time income, big-time income, legacy leaving income for loved ones to come, whatever levels of ambitions you have, there are levels of commissions to match it, to be able to afford making your goals, dreams, and desires a reality. ASEA helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. You receive residual income from the first and all of the repeated purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. You receive unlimited leverage residual income from the first and all of the repeated purchases made by every single person your contacts and others also refer, and there's no limits to this. Doesn't matter how far or wide or deep or how many it goes around the world, you get paid for all of that. So you can have access, you do have access to an unlimited source of leveraged income, residual income. Now we do this type of marketing all the time, don't we? Of course. We recommend good movies, TV series, restaurants, cafes, books, homewares, beauty products. We even social media market for these companies when we tag ourselves in a location that we're enjoying a service or product. It's natural. People tell people who then tell even more people, and it goes on and on and on. Word of mouth marketing is the oldest and the most natural, and still today, number one, most powerful, effective, trusted, and listened to form of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially with how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide. ASEA is currently in 35 countries. We've never taken a backwards step. Based on the existing trends, our annual turnover is projected to exceed more than $500 million by the year 2025. Now, residual income is impressive. Being able to get paid over and over and over again from work you potentially just do once. Being able to get paid on your days off, on your holidays, even while you're sleeping, being able to get paid. Being able to get paid from multiple time zones around the world is very impressive. But more so, residual income is very important because you have residual bills, right? So get yourself a residual income. Now, most people don't figure this out. And here's an example. Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Out of every 100 people, only one are wealthy. Residual income, probably figured it out. Only 3 are financially secure, probably figured out residual income for that financial security. However, 7 must still work to survive at 65. And let's be clear, not working because they want to, but because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar. But even more concerning is 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by 65. So 81% of people aren't figuring out residual income. That's one of the main financial principles that top 4% seem to figure out. How to make money that is no longer dependent on a paid by the hour, selling, sacrificing your precious time for money, labor intensive or own activity job. That type of income is known as active income. And the truth is, sooner or later, you won't be able to be as active as you are right now. Therefore, you're not going to have as much active income as you have right now. This is very concerning for me when I learned this because my active income was already not enough as it was. Big problem. 81% of people get trapped in it. And we want to show you a way out. I'm not saying jobs are bad. Good place to start for most of us. If you truly do love your job, keep it. But still, find a way to make money outside of your job that's not going to interfere with what you're currently doing. Because if you only rely on a single source of active income, it is not smart. So if you want to be smart, if you want to be in the right place at the right time, if you want to be able to take control of your finances, your future, your freedom, if you're not happy with the amount of money that you have, if you're not happy with how you have to make your money today, ASEA is a very significant opportunity to be paid a very significant residual income from the inevitable growth of this global expansion. Now, here's the most important part. Nothing is better than making a living than from bettering people's lives. And that's what you get to do with ASEA. You can make great money here, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, it is the effect we have on others. That is one of the most valuable currencies there is. ASEA demonstrates this time and time again. Here was one of the first demonstrations. The truth is, big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies that proved ASEA to be a real breakthrough. Those drug companies offered to pay ASEA huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology, but they also wanted ASEA to shut down and to take everyone off Redox. Thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Vertus Norton and his son Tyler Norton, they had the good heart and great foresight to see grave concerns in such a deal because they saw people, not profits. They saw people who went from very severe health challenges that once not just left them, but even those people's doctors feeling hopeless, to then these people being able to experience life-changing power with Redox. When Vertus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. They couldn't in good conscience sell out. That's why they didn't. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. Vertus and Tyler had started this as just a very big business play in the beginning, but it had soon, seeing these people, became more for them. The ASEA founders turned down huge sums of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route, the health route instead of the drug route, so that they could speed up the availability of this technology globally and make it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. One of ASEA's biggest guiding principles is demonstrated here. As is always demonstrated in every decision they make, that they put people and principles always before ego and economics. So you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. Got any questions? Ask them. Plenty of places that you can find answers, university studies, hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing Redox experiences that we can show you. But more important than a third-party study is a first-party study. So join us in this Redox experience and you can become, be, do, and even able to give more. Thanks, Kaleen. I'll throw it back to you. Appreciate you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, so I'm having a little technical glitch. I usually have some incredible visuals to show you at the end here. Stevie or Danny, if you have the slides and can pull them up, great. If not, I'm just going to, go over things with you all. So usually we come back to the point of just refreshing you on the product, which we went over the drink and the gel. And also there's a phenomenal skincare line and nutritionals. And so definitely get back to the person that invited you to learn about our entire cellular health product line. And one of the most important things is that when you're getting started on the product, particularly the drink itself, which here's our visual, right? Real, live, and center. This product isn't sold by the bottle. It comes 4 bottles to a case. And the reason for that is we found with over a decade of consumer knowledge that most people, when they first start supplementing these molecules back into the body, they don't necessarily feel a change right away. Because how can you feel, for example, your pancreas healing or your liver, getting stronger or whatever the molecules might be helping the body to do? But what we do find is that what you want to do is not just try a bottle or just try it for a week or a month, but really do at least 3 to 6 months. And people usually after 3 months of taking the product correctly on the right product plan will realize how it is affecting their body, because now they've had their systems communicating properly, as Stevie went over in the video, for a good 3 to 4 months. So definitely get on a good product plan, commit to at least 90 days. I really say go for 6 months, and you're going to be guaranteed to get phenomenal results. And also, when you're ordering the product, you might Google sometimes and get excited and have online accounts, other places like Amazon. Sometimes you might see our products there, but it's not an actual official place where we sell our products, because as Vertus and Tyler carefully thought out how they wanted to set up this business, they realized we do need the education component. And when you just order it off the internet, or if you could just buy it off a shelf in a health food store, there's a baseline dose right here on the back of the bottle, but it's really makes a difference to get clear on what your goals are for the product and get a good product plan that's right for you. How much to take, how often to take it. And you just can't put all that on one label. So we really encourage you to get the products from the person that invited you. They're a direct distributor with the company. You'll get safe, clean product that hasn't been tampered with. It hasn't expired. And you also get to participate in what are called incredible free product points, where it helps you save money on the product. So as I mentioned earlier, there are two phenomenal customer accounts. I recommend what's called the preferred customer account if you're looking at that, because you do save 25% off the full price of the product and you get to earn the free product points. Or you can choose what's called an associate account, which allows you to be a distributor to yourself, and if you choose, share with other people. And with that, you pay a one-time fee of $40 US, or the equivalent of your country's currency. And then once a year, pay a $25 annual renewal fee, or again, that's US dollars, it would be the equivalent of whatever your country's currency is. The benefit of that package, of that, sorry, that account, the associate account, is you not only do you get 25% off the preferred customer price, you also get to participate in the free product points, and you get very unique enrollment packages on that first order. And that's where it's worth, again, taking a little bit of time learning about those enrollment packages. And I apologize, normally I've got a really nice visual to show you, because what happens is you can actually order product in bulk on that first order, which makes sense, particularly if you're going to share this with your family. If you're going to be taking a large amount based on your goals, you get to save even more money and get free gel, get free product points, get a higher earning value on your future orders in terms of participating in the free product points, or what we call loyalty rewards. Okay. And with that, I want to really thank you for coming tonight. And if you're in the US, or in the morning if you're in Asia or Australia. And really invite you to take the time, if you feel like you have more questions, and I'm actually looking in the chat really quickly here, definitely make sure you get them answered. We'll be back here again next week, so you can come back and refresh. But also, don't wait to get started. Usually what we hear from people is their only regret is, why did they take so long once they learned about it? And then if you don't feel like it's for you, and you do come across people that you feel like need to know about this aspect of healing in the body and these supplements, help be an ambassador, go be a change maker with us. This is a phenomenal global health project. And, we're changing lives every day with it. So again, thank you for coming. I encourage you to stay on the Zoom if you'd like. At the top of the hour, in 4 minutes, we switch over to a whole new activity, which is phenomenal, which is weekly team training. So we're part of field education teams from all over the world. And those of us that are awake in this current time zone tune in, and we get to hear from some of our very own inside the company. And often we bring in outside educators to just work on our own personal development. And so if you are a guest today on the webinar, you are welcome to stay for that as well.